Let's go! Are you kidding me? Dakota Rain silences the haters yet again. You get a really good call right here. Defensive breakdown. You motion the tight end, and guess what? Nobody's guarding him. Dak sees it immediately. Guess what? Dallas, for once this season, gives Dak some good protection. And guess what? It's easy pitch and catch, baby. So comment below. Is Dak the best quarterback in the NFC? 5. Okay, so one of my favorite things to do on 3rd and 5 is actually run the football here in plus territory. But guess what? Tyler Guyton gets beat pretty badly here, and nobody is really open at all. So Dak actually does something smart here. He's just backing up to try and clear out more space for the in-breaker, and Patrick Queen's bringing some heat there as well. Is that pass interference with him yanking him right there? Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Ferguson's like, where's the flag, baby? Steelers are in very soft quarters right here. And normally you want to be able to run on this front, right? But Zeke is complete dust. They eventually got the run game going with Dowdle a little bit later. But on the 2nd and 11, Steelers have the perfect defense called for this. Dallas is running a lot of deep stuff, and once again, they're in quarters. So it's tough to get something deep here. And, man, you see, CeeDee is just completely blanketed right here. Maybe there's something open over here, and I just don't see it. I could pull up the all-22 copy here in a second. But you'll see that Dak works all the way to the backside. I want you to see where this ball location is, away from Ryan Clark, the safety here. And look at that. I mean, that is just ridiculous freaking ball location on that shoulder to protect him from the hit, and you pick up the first down. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what Dallas is going to do about Tyler Guyton. It's a massive thing. So I'm not the biggest fan of cut blocking. TJ Watt, you'll see why he is an absolute freak of nature. And you'll see this is actually the play that the Cowboys run to win the game. It's mesh. Mesh is a lot more effective against man than zone. Obviously, the Cowboys or the Steelers are in zone, so it makes it tougher to get something open versus mesh, okay? But the truth is the protection is dreadful. Tyler Guyton gets beat to the inside again, and there is a lot of freaking pressure right here. TJ Watt is up from the cut block. It was a good cut block from Zeke. I'm not the biggest cut block fan because ends are so freakishly athletic now they're able to get up. And Cam Hayward is playing some of the best football of his career. You want to see what he did versus the Colts last weekend? Take a look at our Joe Flacco film study, and this is intentional grounding. Pretty much a disaster here on 3rd and 1. All right, it's 3rd and Richardson. Steelers playing very soft coverage. Cowboys are in 5 wide. All right, good call right here. Protection, adjustment. Help Tyler Guyton out. The left tackle is really struggling, so you give him a little bit of a chip, okay? And guess what? The protection is really good. You also get a chip here on TJ Watt. And now Dak has time to actually make a throw down the field. And y'all, this throw, it's breathtaking. It's breathtaking football right here. Lots of velocity to the opposite hash. You know, a lot of quarterbacks wouldn't have the audacity to throw this. Dak does. And look at this location away from the safety yet again. CeeDee catches it at its highest point, 2 feet in bounds. Y'all, I mean, what are we doing here? The Dak slander is just consistent. All right, so guess what happens? On the very next play, corner is afraid of CeeDee getting behind him. So guess what? You run pitch and catch, baby. You're running a variant of Hoss. This could just be option routes, 4 verticals with, an underneath running back. But still, CeeDee might have had the option to just stop if the corner's playing that far back, and you just play pitch and catch. Man, 4 verts, still the best play in football, baby. One of my favorite plays from the Cowboys here, little zone blocking here to the right side. And look at Tyler Guyton, the rookies, helping out with Cam Hayward here on this double. And guess what? You're moving Cam Hayward backwards, okay? That is really good blocking. More of that from the Cowboys. And Rico Dowdle, obviously, is a clear-cut RB1. And he's definitely a guy I have a lot of in fantasy, so I love to see that. I think if everything ended today for TJ Watt, he would be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Because this guy, I mean, Aaron Donald, if he didn't exist, TJ would have more Defensive Player of the Year wins. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Again, okay? If you're Dak, you have to know if you're this deep in the pocket and your right tackle has one-on-one assignment right here, you've got to have better pocket presence here. You've got to step up into this. So this is just really poor quarterback play, especially if you're in field goal range. You're getting points in what is going to be a low-scoring game. Dak has really crappy ball security here. That's not really on Guyton. That's not really on the right tackle. Of course, TJ did a good job bending that edge right there. It's not the best protection, but as a quarterback, I mean, you really got to help out against one of the GOATs of this era. 2nd and 8, this is a good job right here from Mike McCarthy. Jalen Tolbert said in the postgame that the Steelers run a lot of man coverage. Okay, so if you run a lot of man coverage, what do you want to do? You want to stack trips bunch and run these kind of stack routes, right? This is really hard for DBs to sort out whose man is who. It's tough. It's really, really, really tough to deal with. And just based on what I see, this does look like it's a man coverage. But this DB runs with Tolbert. Patrick Queen picks up Tolbert. And guess what? 2 guys are guarding the same person, and that opens the flat right here, and Dak sees it immediately, even though TJ Watt and 51 are applying some pressure there. And that obviously is just simple pitch and catch, and that's really good stuff right there by CeeDee blocking down the field. And it does look like it's man because 31 has no idea where he is right now. I know it looks awkward, but still, and that's excellent by CeeDee Lamb. Wow. I understand frustration was made a big deal of in that game, but that's some really good hustle. So I understand Mike Tomlin's going to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but if you watch the Steelers closely, you do see a lot of just weird stuff from a defensive-minded head coach and an experienced team, right? There's a lot of players on this defense that have played together, okay? At the snap, 3 different players, 4 seconds left on the play clock. Minkah Fitzpatrick is making a late check. Now, what's interesting about a late check in this situation is you notice the receivers are very static, right? I can understand making a check based on a pre-snap motion, but this is a very, very, very late check from Minkah Fitzpatrick, and it has everybody here flat-footed. And, well, what happens? Well, the guy that actually gets beat is the corner over here, but he's in cloud. So his job is to stay in the flats right here. Unless he sees something, then maybe he's supposed to go with the go route here. Dak is looking at Minkah Fitzpatrick. He sees that Minkah Fitzpatrick is staying right around here. So that means the vertical down the sideline is going to be open. And you see Dak sees it. Man, this is just a good pocket, really good mechanics, feet right in the direction of where he needs to actually throw this football. It's a super-duper tight spiral. And, well, this is like leaving Steph Curry open for 3. You don't want to do it, right? And obviously Dak's not on Steph's level, but you get the point. All right, 6-3, and Dak, another red zone turnover. Another one, okay? Man, this is just not good quarterbacking. Not the biggest fan of this play call either. You're running 4 verts. If you were going to throw it somewhere, you would want to hit this player. But, I mean, the ball would need to be coming out right now. Minkah Fitzpatrick is somewhere in there. And Dak just forces his ball up to CeeDee. It's just his worst throw of the season, if we're being quite honest. He's probably thinking that CeeDee stopping at the goal line, it's a back shoulder. I mean, you're just basically giving the game away when you do something like that. So if you're a team at any level, unless you just run an all-out Mike Leach air raid, I'm a big fan of going heavy now. Because when you go heavy, teams crowd the box and it can open yourself up for verticals, right? So you'll see there's not even much of a play-action fake. There's not even a play-action fake at all. Steelers are just king run right here with a fullback, a tight end, and Zeke in the game here to the right side. And guess what? You see both of these linebackers kind of bite in here. I don't know if it is a blitz or a green dog or whatever, but the point is Dak starts off looking to the left, trying to get this football to CeeDee Lamb. He's got man coverage over here, but then he works over the middle, right? Anytime as a football fan you're watching a game, if you see both these linebackers, the interior, Mike, Will, whatever you want to call them, linebackers come into the box, you want to attack the intermediate middle right behind it, and that's what Dak does right here. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Wide open, all right? So, yeah, Steelers, good game defensively. Got some red zone turnovers, but that's just too easy. I'm not sure if there's a better seam ball thrower than Dak Prescott. He throws an absolute beautiful vertical ball up the middle. Pocket is really good. Look at this right here. TJ Watt and Cam Hayward on the same side. Get a little chip right here. Helps out your right tackle. You take Guyton out, bring in another left guard or left tackle. Pass protection is really good. You get 2 chips here. Now, Dak, once again, throws a perfect seam ball. I mean, it is a thing of beauty, all right? You'll see that the safeties were in deep halves, and you had your fastest player on the team, Turpin, run the seam, and look at where Dak puts it. Bang! Right there for a huge explosive gain. It's always important to watch the freaking games, okay? Because, yes, the Cowboys' offense hasn't looked the absolute best, but it's in large part because Dak's blind side has had some major issues. You saw it in the Giants game. I mean, he's having to play perfect. Now, this is not the hardest read in the world to throw this football to 87 right here, Ferguson, but he needs to play anticipatory football or else he's going to be strip sacked here, and that's anticipatory football. It's a good job finding Ferguson right there for a nice gain on 2nd and 10. Man, Rico Dowdle was phenomenal. I know the rushing numbers weren't incredible, but he had some clutch runs in the second half. We're not showing a lot of them. And here he is stepping up in a major way for the Cowboys. And you'll see this time. Remember, Dak, the first time around, just kept sinking back into the pocket. You got to step up, help your pass rush. TJ Watt gets far too wide right here. And now Dak is able to step up. He can run for it for a big gain, but he finds Rico Dowdle right here in the corner for a wide open touchdown. Oh, how did he get so open? Remember, earlier, Cowboys ran mesh. They run mesh here, and it's actually normally attached with a rail from the running back. Okay, it looks like the rail is over here, and then Dowdle just kind of leaks out. Chipping with TJ Watt helps out. But the most underrated thing you could do as a football player is stay on your feet. This is Deshaun Elliott out of Texas. So, you'll probably grew up a Cowboys fan. And you'll see he stepped on the back of the heel of Dowdle and he trips. Okay? I'm telling you, it is amazing how much a defense could struggle just by simply falling down. Same thing is true for the offensive side of things. Cowboys get a little lucky there, and it's a tutty. This was definitely one of McCarthy's better play calls on the night. You're in 12 personnel here. This is your receiving tight end. This is more of your blocking tight end. So what do? Once again, out of heavy personnel, I love throwing out of it, okay? I actually had them flipped. So you're running a vertical here. You act like you're blocking TJ Watt, and then you leak your tight end. And you're challenging, once again, Elliott, who had a tough game. Once again, there hasn't really been an answer when it comes to stopping the leaking tight end. Now, the issue is I don't know how you stop it. I really don't. Now we get to the ugly interception from Dak Prescott. And, man, overall, this game was not his best. Now, was he clutch when he really needed to be? Yes, absolutely. But so far this season, Dak has been okay. He's not really exceeded expectations, which is what you want when you sign over that big of a deal to your franchise quarterback. But up to this point, he's been okay. He's been asked a lot of in this Dallas offense. And maybe now that Rico Dowdle is starting to come on here, the run game will help Dak out. Obviously, the offensive tackle play has not been what it needs to be. But overall, I still think Dak is a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. And going into the season, I had him as my number 1 quarterback in the NFC. Now, I no longer have it that way. Bang, this guy is number 1. And bang, here's a breakdown of the legendary drive from Dakota Rain to win this thing. It is Pow, our NFL boom. And tonight, we're doing chicken strips. Let's go.